episode of Love Where You Live. This is Tali Campbell with the Nanaimo Clippers. How are you doing?
Pretty well yourself?
We're doing good. Trying to adjust to the different times that we have right now.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys are as well.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting times for sure, but this kind of stuff you guys are doing is awesome. Yeah, so the Nanaimo Clippers are, of course, a hockey organization that have been operating in Nanaimo since 1972. Our goal, obviously is provide an opportunity for young players to achieve their goals from 16 to 20 years old. Our league's focus is education. So while the players are in town, they're across, of course, from North America. And their goal here is obviously to be better at hockey, but also be better human beings in society. So they come again from all across North America to Nanaimo, spend the season here, get to know the city. They, of course, are focusing on education to get scholarships. So that's kind of obviously who we are. We're a hockey team first and foremost, but more importantly, I think we're a community-based organization. Our goal is to obviously provide the entertainment on the ice, but provide the community spirit off the ice. So throughout the 7 months the players are here, we're always actively involved in the community, helping where we can. Each year we donate thousands of dollars to community organizations through just our 50-50 draws we do and various fundraisers throughout the games, but also we donate a lot of silent auction items. So that's kind of the fundamental who we are, but really I think what makes us who we are is our community-based approach to it. For myself, I've been a resident of Nanaimo since I was 3 years old. I grew up watching the Nanaimo Clippers. I'm from Scotland, so really hockey wasn't my family's kind of number one sport. We were a bunch of soccer fans, or as they'd call football in there. And it wasn't until the Nanaimo Clippers came to my school when I was in grade 4 at Park Avenue School that really I really understood what it was all about. So I received free tickets back then, and we went to the game on Friday night, and from that point I was struck. That was it. I was a Nanaimo Clipper fan through and through, and now I obviously get the opportunity of being the general manager of this team. So be able to now go into schools with our players and see the smiles on faces that I knew that was me not that long ago, is why we do it. That's what I love about junior hockey, and that's what I love about the Nanaimo Clippers.
So this must have come as quite a shock when all this happened and all of a sudden there was no hockey season. How did that hit the players and yourself? Yeah,
it was a pretty remarkable season we were having. We, in some fashion, had a miracle finish to get the top of the Island Division. We had to win, I think it was 14 of our last 15 games, and we did that. And then, of course, we had a really good first round of the playoffs. We swept the Alberni Valley Bulldogs, and so we were preparing for round 2 against Cowichan Valley Capitals, which is an arch rival of ours, of course, only 40 minutes down the road. And we had a lot of great games against them this season. So basically, we kind of prepare ourselves. We're having a team meeting on Thursday like we regularly would do night before a game. And it was at about 4:47 p.m. I'll never forget that time when Hockey Canada and the BCHL notified us that the season will be canceled, of course, for the proper reasons. But it's certainly, to have to walk in that dressing room and let the 23 players know that their season's over. And for many of them, 20-year-olds in junior hockey, their junior career is now over. Letting those 6 20-year-olds know that they'll never play another Nanaimo Clipper game again. It was hard. You see these 23 young men as young athletes, macho men. They're hard hits on the ice and all that stuff that comes with it. But they're human beings. When we had to share that news, I've only been in the business for 6 years. My coach has been in the business for quite a long time. He played junior hockey himself. Both of us have said that was the hardest thing we've ever done. We sat in that dressing room for probably an hour to 2 hours just hugging each other and sharing memories and knowing that, we're going to get through this. But together we'll get through this and together we will look back on this, and this will be a building block to their careers.
A different step in that rite of passage.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All of a sudden they became adults right in that instant.
Absolutely. No more of the teenage anymore. You got to really, understand what's happening here and why we're doing it, But now we talk to all of our players, and every single one understands that it may not necessarily be about them, but their parents or their grandparents or the safety of our fans and volunteers. So they, at that point, became young adults and had to realize that, it's a lot more to just the game of hockey when we're in the real world.
Yeah. So flipping that around and focusing on some of the positives that have come out of this, noticed that you were doing some initiatives like the Thankful Thursdays, Teaching Tuesdays, and there's also an initiative to help with yard work. Why don't you fill us in with some of that?
Yeah, where the inspiration came from.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of like what I said is we're a hockey team first and foremost, but we're a community-based organization that, we would not operate in the city of Nanaimo without the support of our 1,500 plus fans every night that come to our games, the 100 plus corporate sponsors we have, the 50 plus volunteers, the 15 plus billet families. So, we're also looked at as an entertainment supplier of Nanaimo. So when I sat down with my team and we really said, what can we do to make sure that, we're saying our thanks, times are tough right now, and people are confused and not really knowing what's going on. So we sat down and said, we've got resources that we can really put into play. And so we started doing things. So we started the Thankful Thursdays. We were thanking all of our different corporate sponsors out there that might still be open right now, or the ones that are now reopening. We started Teaching Tuesdays, obviously, with schools being closed of in-class sessions. And I was someone that was not an achiever in school by any stretch of imagination. So I knew when the Clippers came to my school and they said their favorite subject was math, that became my favorite subject. So we thought if we put a fun twist on Teaching Tuesdays and make it Nanaimo Clippers-based activities with word searches and coloring pages and math equations, that hopefully will get a few people interested in continue to learning while this is all going on. And we've had hundreds of submissions every week from families and people who are doing it. So I was actually driving by a lawn one day and saw that it was growing quite long. And I thought, what could we do? And so myself and my coaching staff said, let's go to Lowe's. Derek at Lowe's donated a lawnmower and some supplies. And nice. We said, let's offer to the seniors and frontline workers that we'll come and cut their grass and help them a bit of yard maintenance right now because, a lot of people can't do it and may be afraid to be hiring companies and financials might be tough. So I think since that time, a month and a half ago, I think it was, we've done over 50 lawns. That's kind of carried on to our Easter Sunday deliveries. Again, we partnered with our sponsors, Buy Low Foods and Save On Foods and Panago Pizza, and we had over 280 families sign up for our Easter deliveries. So our mascot Sea Dog and myself and a few volunteers went out all Sunday, Easter Sunday, and delivered Easter eggs, and the smiles were amazing. So that's really what it's all about for us is, these fans, these sponsors, our volunteers, they support us through thick and thin. We could lose 8-0 and they're still smiling, leaving this arena and telling our guys, good job. And so these initiatives we've been doing really is just out of the heart of our staff who have just said, it's our time to say our thanks now. What can we do and find different initiatives? And it's really been, as much as it's probably been rewarding for the community to see things we're doing, it's made it for me during this tough time to go to bed with a smile on my face, seeing the smiles on our seniors' faces, the frontline workers, and the kids of Nanaimo when we come and deliver things. So it's truly been rewarding, I think, all around.
Where did you come up with the idea for the amazing race, the social distancing amazing race?
It was actually one of my staff members, Rick, who came up with the idea and said, he loves the show Amazing Race. How fun would that be? And I said, there actually was one, I think, in Nanaimo not too long ago.
Yes, there was.
But, we can certainly try and come up with a spin with it. Again, being an organization that has a ton of sponsors and a ton of support, it took me probably 5 minutes to reach out to a few of our sponsors who said, sign me up. Let's absolutely get on top of this and let's do this. So since then, we now have 5 different activities that families will be signing up for the June 7th event. And I think we're going to do more than one now because we have a lot of families signed up for it. So as long as the staff and can come up with different riddles and different challenges, we're going to do it. But in this one, there's going to be maybe some birdhouse building, maybe some pizza making, there'll be some dancing, just a lot of fun for families to spend a Sunday afternoon together in their own vehicle. And we spaced it all out properly so that no one will actually be at the same location at the same time as another family. So it's just, for us, it's just a fun thing that, thousands of people watch CTV and watch their Amazing Race challenges go on. And so we thought, let's try and offer it to some of our fans and really make it a family atmosphere and incorporate all different activities that are, showcasing our businesses and our corporate sponsors, but also the community. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I wish that I wasn't on this side of the fence here. I wish I was signing up for it. And we're really looking forward to June 7th and, again, seeing the families out there and having a lot of fun.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. So the other thing that I think that I noticed on your website was a drive-in movie. What's that about?
Yeah, so we're working diligently with Island Health right now on a drive-in pop-up theater. So looking at something on Facebook, and someone had a drive-in theater in Enderby and an interior. And so we thought, that's fantastic. Let's try and do one here in Nanaimo. And we're working close with Island Health to create a framework for that because I think it is achievable. So we think, working with Island Health and the Provincial Health Authority, that we can certainly get something on board and make something of it. And that's one step of a bigger plan here. And we kind of unveiled a bit of it on Saturday with the letter to the school district of 68 and the school board trustees is, we want to be able to plan some type of drive-in graduation ceremony for the graduating class of 2020. We want to make sure they're remembered as the grad class of 2020, not the grad class of COVID-19. So we think that this framework for drive-in theater can turn and result be a framework of a grad ceremony drive-in, can be a framework of a drive-in concert idea. So it's a big picture idea, and we're just kind of pushing forward with it, trying to work with Island Health and all the bodies involved in it to really make it happen. My mother asked me the other day is why are the Clippers doing this kind of stuff? And my biggest answer was, anytime that you run into a challenge in your life, you've got to be creative and get through that challenge. It's no different than what we do on the ice. When we run into a challenge and we're down 2-1, we call timeout. And we create a creative opportunity for us to score a goal to get tied back up. And that's what we're doing here. We've come up with this challenge we've been given, COVID-19 the world, and we're trying to be that creative partner in this all and find a solution that is safe and innovative, that we can still, live our life to somewhat of a normality. And so for us, the almost 1,000 students in School District 68 deserve some type of recognition for what they've achieved. They spent a lot of time, and there's probably three things in life that you really celebrate, that you remember, and one is graduation. And those pictures will always stay on your wall, will always be in your mom's walls and your dad's and grandparents. And so we want to make sure that we are a sounding board of our resources, that we can try and push forward to some type of event of a graduating class. And we're creating basically a framework to send to Island Health later today, that we believe it's entirely safe. Nobody gets out of vehicles. You still get the ceremony. Your friends and family can still be able to take it in. Obviously, it's going to look different because you can't necessarily walk across stage, but you can still drive across a potential stage. So there's different things that we're trying to do so that this graduating class still gets recognition they deserve. And again, we hope this is a framework that other school districts can jump on board in the island and in BC and across Canada, because we need to be creative here.
From everything I'm hearing, it sounds like your team might not be on the ice, but they're developing life skills that they're going to take with them from here.
Absolutely. I mean, our philosophy coming into this is, you're sending your son to us to obviously become a better hockey player. But if I only make 23 good hockey players, we've not succeeded our goal here. We need to make 23 young men who are positive role models in society. And then we can say we've achieved our goal. So that's our goal in hockey. And in junior hockey is the best time, I think, because these are when these young men are developing. And it's our job now to help develop them into, positive role models. So, better hockey player, great education. That's what the goal is in the BCHL, is to get the education and get a scholarship. But really learn some life skills that you'll take away 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now, that you'll look back on and go, yes, the Nanaimo Clippers helped teach me that giving back is important. The Nanaimo Clippers helped teach me that leadership is important in tough times. That's really our goal in all this. And that's kind of why, we stay in the world of junior hockey. A lot of us stay in the junior hockey because it's about teaching and about developing young people. And that's why you do it. It's not a high paying job by any stretch of the imagination. It's just about the rewards of being able to see these young men, grow up and become young men.
Yeah, and from everything that you're telling us that you're doing right now, it's not just the 23 young men that you have on the ice. Nanaimo is just going to be so much better for everything that you guys are doing.
Well, we appreciate that.
And I think Nanaimo, seeing the service that you're doing, is also going to make Joe Public kind of go, and how do I step up to the plate? What can I do? And help.
Yeah, that's part of our thing, right? Is we have the resources to help out, and we're starting to see some of our sponsors who are super busy with keeping their business open and following new restrictions, but still trying to lend a helping hand in however they can. So, our blessing right now is we have an owner in West Museo who has said, I want my staff to be continuing involved in the community, giving back where we can, and we have that time right now. So, for us, it's about working together. Our new hashtag, going into next year is in this together, and that's what it is. Whether we're in this together in a hockey team, whether it's in our dressing room, whether it's in a volunteer event we're doing, whether it's in the community, we're all in this together, and we'll get through this together. And so that's our whole sole focus on this all is working together. What I love, obviously, is through our I did a food drive for my birthday recently, and someone came and donated food and didn't even know what the Clippers were, but we had a great chance to talk with the Clippers and what we do and who we are. And the big thing that selfishly, I guess, we're getting through this is we're more than just a hockey team. We get a lot of people who just say, well, I don't like hockey. I'm not going to support the Nanaimo Clippers, but this is really now, like I said, selfishly showcasing that we're a lot more than just a hockey team. We're a community organization that has Nanaimo in its best interest. And we've had it since 1972, but more than ever, of course, with everything going on, that we're here for Nanaimo. Even if our season's been canceled, we're still here. We're still active in our community. We're still showing our appreciation and thanks. So,
yeah.
Now, as the public, what can we do to help support the Clippers?
We will be celebrating our 50th anniversary, not this coming season, the next season. And so for us, we rely heavily on the support of our fans. Without fans, without sponsors, without volunteers, without our billet families, we are not an organization that gets to operate. We rely heavily on the fans who are sitting in the seats, who are cheering us on, to our sponsors who are getting rink boards, to our volunteers who are helping, be at the game days, helping take tickets and sell tickets and things like that. So for us, when hockey resumes and Frank Crane Arena gets to be open on a Friday night, we want the community to come say hello to us. Even if you don't like hockey, this is a community spirit. And what I love is it's a social event that's being held here at Frank Crane Arena. And so for us, when this is all done, we'd love to see the support from the residents who come out, who share our post on Facebook that a game day is coming up. That's really for us how they show their support, is just being there for the players. And I remind everyone that these players are not paid. These players are playing for the love of the game and the love of education. And their goal every night is to go out there and put 110% of their energy on the ice to entertain the fans, entertain the scouts, and hopefully obtain an NCAA scholarship. So, the amount of money that the Nanaimo Clippers organization brings to the community and the economic side of things is huge as well. We got teams that are traveling from Wenatchee and Prince George and Penticton who are staying in hotels in Nanaimo, eating in our restaurants. We hold spring camps with over 100 people who, again, are coming from all across North America to try out for the Nanaimo Clippers. So there's a huge social aspect to the Nanaimo Clippers that I think is huge for the community. There's also a massive economic benefit to the community that, again, I think some people miss as well. So, the Nanaimo Clippers, I really think, are a multifaceted organization that, really is here for Nanaimo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, the one other initiative I don't think that you touched on, speaking of economic benefits, is the online 50-50. Is that something that's ongoing, and how do people get engaged with that?
Yeah, so the Nanaimo Clippers have a side society called NC Hockey Society. And so basically that society raises funds for scholarship for players who don't receive a scholarship. So although every player in the BCHL is battling for a scholarship, and I would say 95% of them do obtain a scholarship at some level, whether it be NCAA or NCAA Division I or Division III, or community college, they do receive, but some don't. And so we raise money for those who do not receive that scholarship. We do various events through the year, and one of the ones we have done that you were just referring to is our Progressive 50-50 online. So every Sunday we do different 50-50 that anyone in Canada can purchase, and all the money raised goes towards our scholarship fund. And if we ever have any excess money from our society, we always put it back into Nanaimo minor hockey and making sure that families can afford to play hockey. So yeah, people can go to our website, nanaimoclippers.com, and scroll right down to the right-hand side, and it kind of has an active tally on what the pot is right now. Mm-hmm. And again, it's another way to support the Nanaimo Clippers, but also the athletes that are on the ice and who are, of course, trying to obtain a scholarship to further their education.
What other ways, other than your webpage, can we find you?
Go to our Facebook page, go to our Twitter page or Instagram page or our website to always find out things that we're trying to do. And none of these things are achievable without the support. The support from the community is what keeps us going and what allows us to keep being creative and innovative during these tough times.
Right on. Well, thanks.
This is great.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure being able to speak to you after going online, reading about what the Clippers have been doing and all the different initiatives that you've put together during this time. it's just been a joy being able to talk to you, Tali.
The other thing I would love is if you could give us a list of the sponsors, and we could again tag them on this post, just as another way of saying thank you for making this area of Vancouver Island such a beautiful place to live in, and that we can certainly love where you live and share the love of our community and share what positive, great things are happening in this community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for joining us in another episode of Love Where You Live. Don't forget to give us the old thumbs up, and we would love to hear your comments. And please share this with your friends so we can help spread the word about the things that make our community special. Continue following us to see more episodes of Love Where You Live. See you next time.